Good morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, coming to you with the morning market preparation video for January 30th, 2018. So as we wind down this trading year, we have 2 more days, today and tomorrow, to finish up this trading year. The bears decided to wake up and come to work. This will be the very first day this year that we actually get a follow-through bearish day. So the first one this year so far that we get a follow-through bearish day. Now, that doesn't mean that this bearish day has to close this way. Yes, we're going to open substantially lower. Currently, the Dow futures are pointing to better than a 200-point gap down. With that kind of a gap down, you know that the bulls are not going to stand aside and just let the bears ravage this market all the way. We could potentially see this market close lower today. No doubt about that. Okay. We could also see that we gap down lower and the bulls trigger a short squeeze rally. So keep in mind, these first moves from a market top can be very whippy. Very quick price action can occur. If you've been chasing stocks into this rally, today is going to be a painful lesson for you. Why we don't do that, why we look for low risk entry positions, why we sell stocks into a rally. So for Right Way Option members, we're doing really good. We're going to see a few losses this morning for certain in our positions, but nothing should be out of the box in any way, shape, or form because we have protected ourselves by not over-trading as we reach these market tops. Now, is this a market top? Can't say that for sure. Remember, this is the first move down. And what I want everyone to recall is, I've talked about this several times, if a market pulls back, that first move down is not the wave that's really going to take us all the way down. Remember, we could go substantially lower on this wave, on this move down, but remember, it's the bounce back and a failure of the bounce back where the real selling begins. Okay, so this first move, although it might be painful, is not the end of this market in any way, shape, or form. We could come down and come right back up through new highs. Remember, we're in the middle of earnings season, and earnings have been coming in really well. Now, there's a story out there about the FOMC becoming, more stringent on its interest rates, but let's keep in mind the reality. We are still in a tremendously low interest rate environment. As long as companies continue to produce well, the market can catch itself and save itself here. It is not uncommon after such a long run to see profit taking come into play. So although this morning seems very shocking, let's keep in mind that there's opportunity in a sell-off. Okay, when a market sells off, we get an opportunity to buy stocks cheaper and look for bargains. So although this might be painful this morning, keep in mind this is the natural course of the market. A good pullback, a good flush of those profits, shaking out the weak hands, is a positive thing for the market. This is well overdue, and this in no way, shape, or form, at least at this point, suggests that we are just falling from here. Okay? Keep that in mind. Let's take a look. With that said, we're going to get a substantial gap down this morning. We could easily see the bulls step in and start rallying that back up. Remember, we have earnings out this morning. Couple biggies in the Dow. PFE looks like PFE has reported poorly. They're going to open up substantially lower this morning. And McDonald's also reporting this morning. I don't think it has reported yet. So if these two big players in the Dow both report poorly, we could see the market be substantially lower than we are currently. We could even gap lower this morning. If McDonald's comes in good, who knows, we could push this higher. But we all knew this day was coming, and that's why I've been warning about having a plan, preparing, not chasing. We all knew this day was coming, and hopefully you have a good plan in place to protect yourself in this market. So SPY gap substantially lower, but let's look here that we're gapping down into a price support area and just barely below the trend. We could easily bounce back off of that, so keep that in mind at the open. Let's take a look at the Qs. Now the Qs, barely reacted yesterday. There was some selling going on in the Qs, but now we're gapping down below that Monday, or well, maybe right to that Monday open, and could fail the trend here, but let's also keep in mind that's where we could bounce. So let's not panic. Let's be wise in our trading. We will certainly have some losses today at the morning. Trim those trades, trim those profits where you can to offset any of those losses, and let's let our plans work and stay with our trades, okay? Everything isn't coming unglued just yet. It would be wise to lighten up if you've got too many positions on, however. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM really just kind of stuck within its consolidation yesterday. Now it is gapping lower, but again, still holding some major support levels. So we're not done yet in this market. Just a little bit of fear. You know how the market does things. It overbakes things back and forth. Now, we had a warning for this yesterday. If you take a look at the VIX, we had a substantial warning for this yesterday. The VIX gave us strong clues that a problem was coming in the market, or here in the market, and that's likely to gap up substantially this morning. So keep that in mind. Those of you who have VIX trades on or VXX trades on are going to see very nice profits. An excellent way to hedge your overall portfolio using those instruments. Let's take a look at T21. Whoops. Yep, that's it. T21.22. T21.22 pulled back yesterday. Okay, with the market, pulled back yesterday. So let's keep in mind we're actually closer to a potential bullish reversal zone than we are the bearish reversal zone. So a good clean gap down, a shakeout that occurs, we could really see those buy the dip buyers step in here looking for some bargains. That doesn't mean that we just go back up to new highs. We could struggle for a little bit. We could bounce around. We could consolidate. Expect more volatility here in the days forward. Remember, we've got the FOMC announcement starting today. It's largely expected they're not going to do a thing. If they do announce changes or more interest rate increases or something like that, that could certainly move us around. This is Yellen's final meeting. And on the calendar, you can see there that FOMC begins. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. is when we get the FOMC announcement. We have the Case-Shiller number today. That's expected to put in a strong showing today. Nothing changing here on the housing market pricing. In fact, it's been one of the stronger points for the economy this year, and that doesn't look like it's going to change. Consumer confidence is also expected to come in strong. So although we're getting this ugly move in the market, keep in mind there's a lot of good news still coming in, and the market is likely not to just fall off a cliff and keep going lower. Okay, so pay attention. We've got a lot of good things ahead of us still, and probably we will see and experience a bullish whipsaw after the open today. That means the bulls stepping in, buying the dip, pushing us up back up potentially triggering a short squeeze rally. So keep an eye on that. On the earnings front, we had over 110 companies that were to report today. So there's a lot of earnings reports that will be moving this market around. Keep in mind some of the big earnings really start tomorrow. The big newsy type items will start tomorrow. Big techs and things like that will be reporting. So kind of keep that in mind as we move forward. There is absolutely no reason to believe that, at least at this point, this is nothing more than a kind of a shakeout, and one that's been building for a long time, and honestly one that we needed substantially. Okay, we need to clear this up every once in a while, and so that's what we're doing today. Please try not to panic. Let's take a quick look. Oh, I already did the economic calendar. So with that, folks, if you could do me a favor, click that subscribe button on Facebook and the follow me button on YouTube. I would much appreciate it. Also, feel free to share this video with anyone that you feel could be very helpful to them. I would also appreciate that. Everyone, take care. Try to take a breath today. The world's not coming to an end, although it may be a little bit painful this morning. We still have lots of good things in this market going on. A little pullback, correction, a consolidation is overdue and would be actually very healthy for the market. So keep that in mind. Everyone, take care. I will talk to you all very, very soon, bright and early tomorrow morning.